I were you. The kid's wired with nanomachines.
Welcome, everyone. As always, we're going to be unlocking all the achievements, and in today's video, it's Metal Gear Solid 2. Let's get into it. So step 1, we're just going to play through the game. We're going to start on very easy and work our way up the difficulties, as we need to collect the dog tags throughout the difficulties to unlock all the special items for related achievements. But our first playthrough, we're going to get the most bulk of the achievements out of the way, the miscellaneous ones. We read through the screen book right there to get an achievement, our first of the game. Collect our first dog tag. We're going to get a few unusual ones in the tanker, a bit questionable. But we unlock an achievement for kissing a poster. We also unlock another questionable achievement for getting caught stimulating ourselves.
Snake. You don't have enough to keep you busy? Try to remember the mission if you can.
Another achievement for putting an enemy into a locker. We then make our way onto our first boss fight of the game, which is Olga, and we cap her and get another achievement. As we are making our way through the tanker after getting the USP, we shoot a fire extinguisher, get another achievement. So as you know, we're getting all the achievements in this one. This is part of the Master Collection. I did a video on Metal Gear Solid 1 and got all of those achievements. We're going to make our way through the collection. So we're on 2 obviously, I'll be doing 3 next, and there will be a video to come on that. But we've just been making our way through the tanker section here, unlocking achievements as we go. There's a couple of missable ones, like capturing the ghost of Hideo Kojima. But we've made our way onto the plant chapter as Raiden, who you play as for 90% of the game now. Got some sea lice on our rations, got an achievement for that. Story related achievements as well. Shot an enemy's radio. We place a magazine and lure guard to it, and that gets us another achievement. Now, most of these achievements will come naturally, like 70% of this list is just progression-based achievements, and I think it has a brilliant achievement list, or trophy list if you're playing on PlayStation. You know, you've got your general boss fights, just going through the game, and there's little Easter egg related achievements. There's also achievements for beating up people 30 times, breaking 30 necks, stuff like that. But it's a very well balanced one, and it feels quite rewarding going through the game. You get them quite consistently. And in my opinion, the Metal Gear achievement lists for the collection are pretty much perfect. Now, I know what you're thinking. This one has 1 achievement, which we will get to, and I'll touch on it now, but that's Big Boss. You do have to get Big Boss rank in this. But you don't have to complete 500 VR missions, so that's something. Big Boss, I know that's what a lot of people are going to be here for. And I promise you, if you're new to the series, or if you think it's daunting, everybody is more than capable of doing it. There's some really good tutorial videos online. As I say, even if you're new to the series, just watch a couple of them. You're going to need to persevere, it's not going to be easy. It is a hard achievement. It sounds so much more difficult than it is, and I promise if you just watch a few videos, try and get some tactics down, try and get some of the strategies down, as long as you can play the game quite well, you're more than capable. And I will go through that achievement, we'll see it near the end. So we are nearing the end of our first playthrough here, and we already have 27 out of the 51 achievements. So they're consistent, and it's fun to pop a lot of achievements along the way on your first playthrough. We get an achievement for collecting every weapon in the plant section. We're on to the Metal Gear Rays boss fight, and on very easy, they all die in 1 hit and you only have to kill 3 of them. It lasts about 10 seconds. We beat Solidus, and that concludes the end of the first playthrough. And we pick up a few achievements for it. There he is. We just got him. So we just completed our first playthrough. We also completed the game without being spotted and without killing anybody, so we got 2 achievements there. Now we make our way onto a few miscellaneous achievements. Just watching something in the casting theatre, and having Rose kill Raiden in the casting theatre cutscene. So it's got some pretty cool achievements like that in here. We now have to beat a snake tail for an achievement, so we boot that up, load up the first level, and this takes about 5 minutes. Luckily we don't have to do them all in this version of the game. We then load up boss survival, and I think the easiest difficulty you can do this on is medium, but we beat that, get another achievement, and then we start our next 2, and I believe a partial third playthrough of collecting the dog tags for all the special items, as they unlock achievements too. And along the way we get some miscellaneous stuff like tranquilizing 100 enemies, beating enemies unconscious, breaking the necks of enemies. We also unlock all the weapons in the tanker, which grants us another achievement. There's not much to show you, but at the end of the second playthrough of the plant, we unlock another achievement for collecting our first special item, and then we make a terrible mistake. Oh no, I forgot to save. I might have just fucked up. I am an absolute idiot. Oh my god, why did I not save? So after failing to save my game at the end of that playthrough, and I only saved like 20 minutes into the playthrough, I had to redo that playthrough, save, so I lost like 40 minutes of progress, but it's fine. And now we are just blitzing through the playthroughs to get the rest of the dog tags here. And eventually we'll get the special items for Raiden on the plant, and we have to do a partial third playthrough of the tanker on hard just to get the last couple of dog tags, which will get us the stealth for Snake. As you see, we unlock the bandana at the end of that playthrough. We unlock stealth for Raiden in the plant section. I will save it this time. I then start my third partial playthrough, just of the tanker, and we get our last couple of dog tags to unlock stealth for Snake, which unlocks the last special item achievement. We then make our way to the dreaded VR missions, and the less said about this the better. I can't think of anything worse than playing them, other than watching them, and we've completed them all in the HD collection, so I don't want to bore you with going through these again. Luckily we just had to complete one and place first in 50 different ones, which is not too bad. Placing first in 50 different VR missions does sound a bit daunting, and I was not looking forward to this, but in all honesty, the first Raiden you play as and the first Snake you get to play as has more than enough easy ones so that you can just sort of blitz through, not have to worry about times, and you'll just get first place by default. So it sounds a lot worse than it is, but it's fine. But we make our way on to step 2, and this achievement's a big one. So here it is, the big boss run. It's a hard one, but the requirements I'll just put down here. You've got to complete it on extreme, you've got to do the tanker plant route, got to do it in under 3 hours, no radar, no continues, you can't kill anybody, under 700 shots, only 3 mandatory alerts throughout the game, can't go into caution, no rations, only 8 saves, and you cannot use special items. But we are going to blast through this, we're just going to boot it up, whack it on extreme, and that'll be Goodnight Vienna. Yeah, that didn't quite go to plan. We go again, and that is the common theme with this big boss rank, to be honest, is you're going to fail, and it's going to happen. But just persevere, watch some tutorials, get a good feel of it, practice segments. If you just think of this as doing 20-minute segments, and you've just got to have a good run at it, getting from one save to another, I promise you it's manageable, and you will be able to do it. Once you get your first save, it's infinitely easier. Once you get your second save, it's infinitely easier. It's literally just 20 to 30 minute segments. Sometimes there's only 10 minutes between one save. You just have to think of it of getting to those saves, and you'll be okay. We also make another drastic error here. Oh wow. What a way to ruin a run, huh? Using the digital camera instead of the normal camera. What a dickhead. So I ended up getting spotted, which of course ruins the run, so we have to do the whole tanker again, beat Olga, beat the bomb rush, which also I failed at a few times. You know, this whole tanker section probably took me 2-3 hours just to get through, just to get to my first save. But once I got to my first save, it was a lot easier, and I just had to focus on defusing the bombs, that segment. We also used the special camera, the digital camera, instead of the bog standard camera, and I believe that would have avoided the run anyway, so it's a good job we got spotted. We make it onto the tanker section just before our first save, and I nearly royally cock this up.
Colonel.
Luckily we didn't get spotted, but it was close. But we make our way to our first save here. This is where I made mine. You don't have to make yours here. You could have done it at the start of playing as Raiden, at the start of the plant run. But I wanted to get to Spillman, so we're starting the bomb rush section, or the bomb defusal section. Now the bomb defusal section is probably the part I was most worried about, just because there's a lot you need to do. You have to go around the whole section of the shell, defusing bombs, and you cannot get spotted. But generally, I failed a few times, don't get me wrong, but it's actually quite a quick section. You can do it in 15 to 20 minutes. Just get used to the spawn layouts of the soldiers in certain struts. And worst case scenario, if you enter a strut and cock up, you can quickly just run out the door and reset the enemy placement, which is what I did in like the parcel room. Cocked that up a couple of times. I was also shitting my pants for the fortune section because I saved here at Fat Man, which meant fortune. I was so worried I was going to die. But if you just run back and forth in that cardboard box, don't slip up on your movement, you'll be fine. I did fortune first time. But I do understand if you want to save before fortune, I would recommend it if you're not comfortable. Fat Man was a pain in the ass, but with enough practice, you will get through it. I would recommend saving before Fat Man.
Yeah. What a way to fuck it up.
But I kept cocking up here, so I had to keep doing the Fat Man fight over and over again because I kept running into that claymore, and eventually I just got pissed off and used a chaff grenade.
Oh boy.
I also failed at the aim section like an absolute moron. Do not do what I do.
I don't give a fuck, I'm saving. I'm saving here. Good job I saved, huh?
We also finally make it onto the Harrier, which is probably the hardest boss in my opinion, but I managed to get this done pretty well.
Really? What the fuck was that?
Now I do think the Harrier is one of the hardest bosses in the game, apart from the Metal Gear Rays, which we will get to. But yeah, for me, I don't know, I've had a lot of practice against this thing, and I've done Extreme before. I've never done the big boss rank before, but I also enjoy the Harrier fight. So we get it done quite quickly. Now this is pretty much a free save here. Once you've got the Harrier, there isn't really too much that can go wrong, provided you know the layout. Unless you swim into a mine or blow up the President, you're pretty much golden for your next save up until Vamp.
I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up fucking killing the President with the fucking Nikita, and then we're gonna have to do the Harrier again. I can just see it.
But, you know, nerves were setting in, and something was bound to go wrong for me because I seem to always make stupid mistakes.
I killed the President.
What the hell happened? Raiden!
Oh, I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah, so we killed the President. That's probably one of the stupidest things you can do on a big boss run. I was about 2 minutes away from the Vamp save. So we're back to fighting the Harrier again. Luckily, it doesn't cause us too much trouble. It did take me about 3 or 4 more attempts. But we get the Nikita, make our way back to the President. We don't kill him this time, which is always good. And now we get ourselves to Vamp. We make our next save, and Vamp is probably the easiest boss fight in the game, provided you know this strategy to kill him. It's a very simple one. A little bit of practice and you'll get the timing and the strategy down, but he's a walkover when you do this little loop here. And that's Vamp out the way. We then make our way onto our next save. There's not a lot to talk about in between getting to the sniper section. You just have to escort Emma out.
Things with Otacon before I ask her out.
The sniper section is annoying, nowhere near as difficult as I thought it would be. And with that we make our way onto our next save of the big boss run. I saved before the Tengu fight, like before you meet Snake, because I wasn't comfortable getting to Snake without being spotted. And then we reach the dreaded 2 Tengu fights, which you have to do back to back. Luckily there's skips for them. I'd highly recommend doing these skips. They're not too difficult, but if you practice them, they're very consistent. I definitely recommend doing those skips if you're doing this run, because the Tengu fights are a pain in the arse. Yes! But yeah, we make our way onto the Rays now. And this is, in my opinion, probably the hardest boss fight of the game. Well, it is. You have to be completely focused for about 15 minutes of fighting here.
You idiot.
But you can, there is a strategy to loop the Metal Gear Rays, so you can pretty much guarantee a win. I didn't do this. I did try to do it and I just could not get the loop down, so I just decided to fight them normally. I thought instead of spending an hour fucking around with a loop to get them in a loop, I'd just fight them normally. And this probably took me an hour or so, but I've done this before. It is difficult, you have got to be completely focused, but you can loop the Rays in a way that you can bait their attacks, so you can get them to do the Gatling gun attack to you, which makes it a lot easier. We then make our way onto the final save, which is Solidus.
Fucking come on!
And it gets a bit hairy, I'm not gonna lie.
Are you... Ryden, you're a fucking cocksucker. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck off!
And with that, we've completed a run. I'm pretty certain I was on the big boss here. I mean, I'd been tracking it. And this is our results screen.
Fucking right, doggy. Big boss.
And there we go, we got ourselves a big boss.
And that's the pop.
I promise you, even if you're new to the series, you can get this. It sounds a lot harder than it is, and it's more daunting than it is. But with that, that's all the achievements done. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe and like, and leave a comment down below if there's anything you'd like me to play and get all the achievements in, and I'll be sure to get around to it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.